First thing we're going to touch on is stance and balance. In order to shoot the basketball and be effective, you must be balanced on the floor. Too many times I see shooters with their feet like this, and they're not balanced. They can catch the basketball and attempt to go into their shot. But two things are happening. Your knees are too close together, so you can't flex, drop your hips like you need to. And also, once you catch the basketball, depending on what direction you're coming from, you won't be balanced enough to stand up. You'll find yourself wind up falling over with the basketball. So the first thing I want to show you as far as your stance goes is you always stand with your hands, with your feet shoulder width apart. Basically, if you stand with your hands down and your feet are inside your hands, they're shoulder width apart. This is a balanced stance right here. This is a balanced stance right here. Because when you jump, you want to come down in the same place that you landed. Okay? If you're not balanced, there's a chance that you could jump like this, come down with your feet together. You may turn an ankle or something of that nature. You want to be balanced on the way up, balanced so you can land safely on the way down. Now, the way that shooting used to be taught when I was growing up is your feet both face the basket, which means that when I shoot the basketball, my shooting shoulder is going to be to the outside of the rim, so I would have to turn and try to maneuver and get the basketball to go in the middle of the rim. So that's why you stand at a staggered stance. Let me show you an example. If both feet are facing the basket, the basketball is here. It's outside the rim. But if I just bring my right foot forward, my shooting foot, because I'm a right-handed shooter, if you're left-handed, your left foot would come forward. But if all I do is just bring my right foot forward, I'm at a staggered stance. Now you have to do something that's comfortable. You don't want to come all the way out here, just slightly, bringing your foot forward. Now the ball goes from here to here. Okay? That's balancing out your shooting as far as your body goes. Now you've got your shooting shoulder, your shooting hand lined up with the basket. You're going to shoot right down this leg, right across this shoulder. Now, as a shooter, I'm a right-handed shooter. So all of my shots are going to take place on the right side of my face. Not in front of my face, not to the left of my face. They're going to take place on this side of my face. Okay? Also, I'm shooting over this shoulder, which is lined up with this leg. So already, because I have the proper stance, I have the proper balance, I'm going to be able to shoot on a straight line. Okay. So we got our feet staggered. Okay? We've got our feet wide, we've got them staggered. We've got our balance. We've started out with our base balanced, okay? Now we have to look at what's going on in our lower body, because our lower body and our upper body have to be working in sync in order for you to be balanced. Because if you don't have a good base, you're not going to be a good shooter. Regardless of what you know, your shooting is going to be off because of your balance, okay? So one of the things you have to understand is that when it comes to shooting, you have to be able to generate power. And if the only thing you're doing is shooting with your arm, then you're only utilizing your arm. The rest of your body is not helping you out. To become a really good and efficient shooter, you have to shoot with your entire body. And everything starts in the lower body. So one of the first things you want to do when you catch the ball, either off just the pass or you bring it up off the dribble, one of the first things you need to understand is that around your belly button, we call this dipping the basketball. So this is where you want to start out with your shot. Second thing is you want to be on what's called the balls of your feet. That's this portion, okay? Not your tiptoes, because you'll fall over. You want to be on the balls of your feet. I'll turn sideways so that you can see that. When I catch the basketball, I get on the balls of my feet, which in order to do that, you just drop your hips a little bit, get on the balls of your feet. My heels are slightly off the floor, maybe that much, just enough to get these Achilles and my calves activated. Now my lower body is activated because I'm here, catch the basketball. Now my hips are down. Now I've got my lower body engaged. I'm ready to use this energy that I'm about to build up. Okay? But if I catch the basketball and I'm here, the moment I went to my shot, I'm just shooting with my arm. And you may make a few shots that way starting out, but as the game goes on and your legs get tired, you're going to start having your shots come up short because you're just shooting with your arm. Remember, when you shoot the basketball, you shoot with your entire body, not just with part of your body. So we've caught the basketball. We've got it dipped at our waist. Hips are dropped. We've engaged our lower body. So what happens now? We got to generate power. When it comes to one motion shooting, which is by definition shooting on the way up, in order to generate that power, there are two things going on. Number one, you've got an upward motion that is created. That's when I bring the ball up. I've got my hips. Once I start bringing the ball up and I'm coming up on the balls of my feet, this is creating an upward motion, okay? That's upward force. The 99% of the power that's generated when you shoot the basketball starts with this upward force, okay? Now, if I were just to stay with this upward force, the ball comes here. So that's going up. I need a way to send the ball forward. That's where your follow-through comes in. That's where the follow-through comes in. You generate the force. Start up, find a way to send it forward. Once we get into our grip lesson, I'll be able to further explain to you how this power is utilized. But the first thing you have to understand is that you create the upward force by dropping your hips initially. As you bring the basketball up, your hips come up. Cannot bring the ball up and bring your hips up. It throws everything off. You have no rhythm in your shot, okay? Because when you're shooting a one-motion shot, you do not want to stop and pause in the middle of your shot because the momentum that you built up will be broken the moment you stop. So you must come up and shoot in one fluid motion. Everything takes place in one fluid motion. So you're here, then the ball is coming out, okay? Coming up, bring your body up. As the ball comes up, your hips come up. This creates that upward force. That's how you generate your power from your lower body. You're transferring it from your lower body to your upper body to the basketball, putting it where it needs to be.